Hello everyone, and welcome to Unreal Stories, where the unbelievable becomes real. They once asked billionaire Bill Gates, "Is there anyone richer than you?" He replied, "Yes, there is one person richer than me." Surprised, they asked, "Who could that be?" Gates began to tell his story. "Years ago, when I had just finished my studies and was working on the idea of Microsoft, I was at New York Airport waiting for a flight. I noticed a newspaper vendor, and one headline caught my attention. I reached into my pocket to buy it, but I didn't have any small change. I was about to walk away when the young vendor, a black teenager, smiled and said, 'Take it, sir. It's a gift from me.' I insisted that I didn't have the money, but he replied, 'No problem, I'm giving it to you.' 3 months later, I happened to be at the same airport again. This time, I saw another newspaper I wanted to buy. Once again, I didn't have small bills. And once again, the same young man was there. He handed me the paper and said, 'Go ahead, take it. It's on me.' I remember the earlier encounter and asked him, 'Why are you doing this? Do you give free newspapers to everyone?' He simply said, 'Sir, when I give something, I give it with all my heart. That's what makes me happy.' That sentence stayed with me for years. I kept asking myself, what kind of mindset, what kind of heart does it take to say something like that? 19 years later, when I had become one of the richest men in the world, I decided I had to find that young man and repay his kindness. I set up a team and told them, 'Go to that airport and find the black boy who used to sell newspapers there.' After a month and a half of searching, they found him. He was now working as a security guard at a theater. I invited him to my office. When he came, I asked him, 'Do you know who I am?' He said, 'Of course, you're Mr. Bill Gates. Everyone knows you.' I reminded him of those 2 times he gave me newspapers for free and asked, 'Why did you do it?' He smiled and said, 'There was no special reason. It just made me feel good to give without expecting anything in return.' I told him, 'I want to repay your kindness. Ask for anything you want, and I will give it to you.' He laughed and said, 'Anything I want? Is that real?' I said, 'Yes, anything.' But then he shook his head and replied, 'Sir, I don't need anything. You can't repay me.' I was confused and asked, 'What do you mean? Why can't I repay you?' He said, 'The difference between us is this. I gave to you when I had nothing, when I was poor and struggling. You want to give to me now, but you are already rich and powerful. That's not the same. But I appreciate your kindness.'" Bill Gates concluded, "That man's words hit me hard. I realized that he was richer than I was. Because the greatest kind of giving is when you give even while you yourself are in need. And that is what he had done for me.